Hi everyone, Ravenpool161 here. First of all, I apologise for my horrible sounding voice today. I was sort of at the end of a cold. I did sound worse yesterday, so that's why I didn't obviously do this video yesterday, because I sounded awful. So I do apologise for my voice, and if I cough or anything on the film, that's obviously why. But anyway, today I'm going to show you a series by Jennifer Lynn Alverez. It has 2 arcs. I suppose it's 2 different series, but they're sort of the same characters, so I'll just call it 2 different arcs. So the first arc is called The Guardian Herd, and it has 4 books. The second arc is called Riders of the Realm, and it's going to have 3 books. Only 2 books are currently out, and the latest book came out last month, I think the end of last month. So, the first book in the first series is called Starfire, and so it follows Star. He's a black foal. These are Pegasus that live on a continent called Anok, and they believe that when these black foals are born, like there's only a few born every 1,000 years, or 1 or 2 born every 1,000 years, and when they're born, they, on their first birthday, they actually receive power that's called Starfire from what's called a 100-year star, which obviously only appears every 100 years. And when they receive this power, they can either be a healer or a destroyer. Pardon me, sorry. And they have different coloured starfires. There's gold, which is from the healer, and silver, which is the destroyer's coloured starfire. So I won't do too much spoilers, but so Star has to choose whether he wants to be a healer or a destroyer, and the herds fear him for this purpose. They want to kill him before he can reach his first birthday and receive his starfire, because they don't know whether he's going to become the destroyer or the healer. So I'll just show you a little bit in here. We have herds. Sun herd is where Star comes from, and it doesn't want to focus for me today, I don't know why. But we have sun herd, and we have... So see, the Overstallion is obviously the leader of the herd, that's Thunderwing. The lead mare is his mate, so it's Silver Cloud. The captains, I think this is sort of in order of rank, except Star's sort of the first one, because he's the main character. Walkers are Pegasus that have been grounded by either war injuries or they're deformed or something, so they can't actually fly. So they're called walkers. Medicine Mare is the healer, obviously. I do like Sweetroot. Understallion is the next stallion to become leader. So that is Hazelwind is Thundersky's son. So we've got mated mares, single and widowed mares. We have yearlings and foals. And then we have mountain herd, snow herd, jungle herd, and desert herd. And we have, well, it's just a bit rainy outside, so it's not very light at the moment. So snow herd, oh friend, it doesn't want to focus. Sun herd, jungle herd, we have mountain herd, and we have desert herd, and that's obviously their territories. Now you can see that's Western Anok. This is just a small part of the big continent that these Pegasus live on. So we don't know if there's more herds. Well, there is one more herd in this, but I won't obviously spoil it for you, but there is one more herd in this, and we find out more about that. The herd sort of has disappeared and no one knows what happened. But we find out more about that herd in the second series, or the second arc. So that is awesome. So that's book 1, it's Starfire, which I've got in paperback. And also, I forgetting to mention that the paperbacks of the first series have bonus stories in them. So you can see new bonus short story inside. So this is book 2, Stormbound, which I also have in paperback. I think this is a little bit longer than the first book. And in this one, we get to meet our antagonist, who comes in at the end of the book, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say who he is or, why he comes back. I'm just going to say, obviously you know it's a he now, but I'm not going to say why he comes back or anything, so I don't spoil it for you. The second book is Stormbound. That's a very, very good book. I do love this series. I'm not a very big horse fan, but so I was just surprised when I actually found this series, and I think I started reading a little bit of it online with the free samples, and I just really fell in love with this series, and I think I got the first 2 books. And then not long after I got the 3rd book, and then the 4th book. So the 4th book I've got in hardback. It's called Landfall, and it's one of my favourite covers. I do absolutely love this cover. Bumblewind, he's my favourite. I love Bumblewind. Echo Frost, she is the main, I think it's Echo Frost. She's the main character of the 2nd arc. And that's set in a different continent, which we'll learn about in a few minutes. So this one, the first 2 books were set in sort of the main territories of Anok and the main herd territories. This one is set in what's called the Trap. So there's all the herds again, they've got more characters. So we've got the main map there. And we can see, I should have mentioned here too, this is the territory of the Landwalkers, or what they call humans. So we'll learn more about that soon. This one is set in the Trap. So the Trap we saw on the map. Oops. If we look on the map, the Trap is here. And why it's called the Trap is because it's a very thick forest that you get, sort of like a rainforest, but it has a very thick canopy that the Pegasus can't fly out of. So that's why it's called the Trap, so they're sort of trapped underneath. But there is a reason that they come there, and again, I don't want to spoil it, even though I want to go, this is what happened and it's awesome. I won't spoil it because I hate people spoiling things for me, even though sometimes I like avoid spoilers and I still read them. But anyway, this 3rd book, the hardbacks don't have the bonus stories in them, so I don't know what the 2 bonus stories are for these 2. So 3rd book is Landfall, and has a little mini copy of the cover on the back, which these guys don't have. They just have the blurb on the back. And obviously the blurb for these are inside there. 4th book, and the last book of the 1st arc, is Windborn. This is our antagonist, and this is Star, obviously our main character. This is probably my favourite book. I love this book. Very, very good book. Very climactic book. And it's awesome. I've said that enough times already, but okay, so again, we have our herds, which I won't go into too much because there's spoilers in there as well. We have our main map. We have the Trap up there. We have the Trap here, and we have a new territory, which this 4th book is set in mainly in this territory. So this is the interior of Anok, or the flatlands. You can see the dark water here, but it's set mainly inland. And the dark water is obviously the crossing between Anok and the continent of the Landwalkers, or the southern continent, you can see there. So you can see they have different sort of settings here, and you learn more about that obviously when you read the first 3 books, and you read this book, that'll all become clear what all the map is. But without wanting to spoil it all for you, but this is an absolutely awesome book. I love it. It's probably my favourite out of a lot. I love all the books, but this is a really, really good book, the fourth book. Okay, so the second arc, as I said, it's called Riders of the Realm, and it follows Echo Frost, who joins a group of over 100 Pegasus, and they flee across the water to the Landwalkers continent. And the Landwalkers they meet are called the Sandwinds, and this is Rocky. So he's also a main character of the second arc, and shortly after the herd arrives, they're called Storm Herd, and shortly after the herd arrives in the continent, Echo Frost and another mare called Shy Song are actually captured by the Sandwinds, and they try to tame them. Echo Frost refuses to be tamed, but Rocky, as you see here, I'll go into, I'm not very good at these videos, but so Sandwind clans, there's quite a few clans, I think there's 7, and you can see here all the different, these are the people of the clans, and Queen Lillian here is currently the queen of the 5th clan, which is Raki's clan. Pardon me, sorry. And these guys are, Grenak is the father of dragons, and he's kind of like a big ass, pardon me, but a big ass Komodo dragon. Well, that's how I see him. He's something like, 15 feet tall or something, 30 foot tall, 33 foot tall actually, foot long, whatever. If I read it properly I might actually know. So he's a 33 foot long drilling lizard called Spit Dragon. So he kind of looks like a Komodo dragon. Sula is also the name they give Echo Frost. The Sandwinds give Echo Frost, but here it's the Mother of Serpents, guardian mascot of the 2nd clan, 42 foot long jungle python. The Kalari in this are the tamed Pegasus, and we find out something about these Pegasus further on in the book that is connected to our first series. Major spoiler, so obviously I won't say how they're connected. But these are tame Pegasus of the Sandwinds. And Raki, I should mention too, Raki's mother was the first queen, or the former queen of the 5th clan, but I won't say what happened, but something happened, and so he used to be a prince and he's no longer a prince, he's sort of the outcast. So he's sort of the main character. The main human character in Echo Frost is obviously our main Pegasus character in the 2nd arc. And I only finished that a few days ago. Oopsie. And this is the current book that's out. So this is the newest book. Second book is the second book is the 2nd arc. Ugh. Riders of the Realm Through the Untamed Sky. And it obviously has Echo Frost and Raki, and another character who I didn't mention, who I won't, because obviously there's more spoilers to that. So, I haven't read much into this, but oh my gosh, it's pretty awesome so far. So, I'll just go into the characters briefly. So, it's quite a thick book as well. So, we have Sandwind clans, we have the Kalari, and we also have the clan divinities, which is like their animals or representatives, divinities of the Sandwind clans. I should have mentioned earlier before as well, there's also giants, which are called the Gorland herds, and you can see that there are 3 separate herds: the Highland Horde, the Fire Horde, and the Great Cave Horde. Now, Storm Herd I should have also mentioned before, I'm sorry. Storm Herd is Echo Frost's herd that comes across the dark water with her. And you can see there's many more than that, but they're just the main characters that are in the story. I think there's over 100 Pegasi that went across with her. And, sorry, here's the maps. My gosh, I didn't even show you the maps. So, the 4th clan. We've got to the 3rd clan, which is off the map. The 6th clan, the 7th clan. Over here we've got the Dakurin Empire. We've got the 1st clan, the 2nd clan. There's Giant Territory. And here we have the 5th clan, which is Raki's clan. So you can see all the territory there, they've got a little bit more detail. And you will learn about all of these places as the story progresses. This is the dark water, and obviously across there is Anok, which Echo Frost and her herd came from. So this is sort of a bay here. We haven't learned too much about Cinder Bay yet, but we have learned about the River Salem, which is obviously a pretty nicely clear river that runs through all the clans, I think, mentioned in the first book. And so we have a rainforest. This is the rainforest over here, and they also have the jungle through here. The jungle has obviously Granak, this is Granak, I think, here. And it also has big ass spiders. Sorry again for big ass, but they have big ass spiders, like the size of, or bigger than cats. And they have fire dragons, which are controlled by the giants. They're little tiny dragons, kind of like if you watch if I can think of the damn movie series, ones with all the dragons in it, How to Train Your Dragon. They're kind of like the little dragons on there which can produce fire. Well, that's how I see them anyway. So there are a whole lot of animals in the jungle that are based, or sort of like real animals, but are bigger. Much, much bigger than their counterparts. So obviously you have big ants as well. Like huge, big ants. You also have big spiders, which I just read about in this book. And you have everything pretty much in the jungle is bigger than a normal rainforest that we find here on Earth. So I reckon she's done really well with that, to sort of bring in a sort of alien, not really alien, but a different feel to what we'd have on Earth. So Jennifer Lynn Alverez is the author, and she has written other books as well, but I do love these 2 arcs. Or they are probably 2 different series, but as I said, they are based on roughly the same characters, so I just call them arcs. So yeah, it's a very, very good series. And I ended up talking for like 18 minutes, but that's the point. They're the 2 series there. So definitely, if you're a horse fan or if you're a Pegasus fan, definitely give this series a read, because it's an absolutely fantastic series. And if you actually see this video, Jennifer, hello, all the way from Australia. We're a 27-year-old fan who loves your series, so I hope you see this video and I hope you like it. My first terrible attempt at a review. Anyway, thanks guys, bye.